When you hear the name SB19, you probably have a pretty clear picture in your head, right? Massive stages, huge awards, screaming fans all over the globe. But what if I told you that what you're seeing, well, that's just the last page of a much longer, much tougher story. Yeah, it looks like this picture-perfect, effortless victory. It kind of feels like they just showed up one day and took over the world. They're all over the international charts, a huge source of Pinoy pride. And, we love a good success story like that. Because behind all that shine is a much quieter, almost invisible journey. One that proves their story is so much more than just a single viral hit. Today, we're going to dig into the part of their story that fans, to this day, still get pretty emotional about. Okay, so first things first, let's just completely bust this myth wide open. The idea that SB19 was some kind of overnight success. Because, spoiler alert, it really wasn't. I mean, the contrast is just wow. On one side, you've got the image we all know and see, the sold-out arenas, the viral sensation. But for years, the reality was the total opposite. We're talking about performing to basically empty rooms, facing constant discouragement, and just working away when nobody even knew who they were. So let's actually go back to those years, back to the shadows, long before the rest of the world started watching. This is where the real foundation was built. This was the unseen struggle. For years, these guys were trainees. They were under this incredibly strict K-pop style entertainment system, but right there in the Philippines. Think insane hours, intense discipline, and for what? Practically zero public recognition. In fact, some of them had to hold down day jobs just to support themselves through it all. And this wasn't for a few months. This was a multi-year, soul-crushing grind. The members have been super open about how discouraging this time was. I mean, can you imagine putting in all that work, releasing music, and just hearing crickets? So when they say that quitting felt like the more realistic option, they're not just being dramatic. That's a real, honest admission of just how close they were to giving it all up. And that really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? How many incredibly talented people, how many amazing artists just stop right at that exact point? That moment when the dream just feels completely impossible. Well, this brings us to the turning point, the one song that was so close to being their last, but instead it became their very first real beginning. So the group puts out a song called Go Up, and at the time that title was definitely more of a hope than a reality. And just like all their other attempts, it pretty much landed with silence. No big radio plays, no instant chart success. Just nothing. And this was it. This was the breaking point, the moment the story of SB19 could have been over before most of us even knew it had begun. But then, something totally unexpected happened. A fan, just one fan, uploaded a video of their dance practice for Go Up. And for whatever reason, timing, talent, pure luck, who knows? That one video absolutely exploded online. It wasn't some big marketing campaign. It was just a spark from a single person who believed in them. And this is why fans get so emotional about their story. It wasn't just about a song going viral. It was about how dangerously close they came to being completely overlooked forever. Their entire future hung on that one video, that one share, that one moment. But if you think that viral moment fixed everything, well, you'd be wrong. In fact, getting famous brought on a whole new kind of struggle. The fight wasn't over, it just changed its shape. All of a sudden, they were under a microscope. And for every person cheering them on as Pinoy pride, there was someone else in the comments calling them a K-pop imitation. Their sound, their style, how they trained, everything was suddenly up for debate and harsh criticism. So what they did next was absolutely crucial. Instead of backing down or trying to change to please the critics, they just doubled down. They refined their identity, stayed disciplined, and proudly made their Filipino roots the very heart of their music. And that resilience, that strength, led them to the most powerful chapter of their career yet, taking complete and total ownership of their story and their future. Their art started to directly mirror their journey. They never pretended the struggle didn't happen. A song like Mapa is the perfect example. It's this beautiful tribute to their parents, and it channels all that real sacrifice and gratitude that's so core not only to their experience, but to Filipino culture itself. And they made some serious moves to protect that vision. They focused on telling authentic stories. They made the incredibly brave choice to go independent, and then they formed their own company, Onesie Entertainment. For the fans who watched them struggle for years, this wasn't just a business move, this was a victory. And here's what might be the most remarkable part. After all the hardship and then the massive success, they never lost their humility. You'd think that experience would make you cynical, but it seems to have done the opposite. It grounded them. It kept them connected to their roots and to their why. So no, their rise wasn't some flash in the pan. It was earned quietly, through years of heavy, uncertain work that almost nobody saw. And that's exactly why their story hits so hard. It's such a powerful reminder that true perseverance isn't always about the big, heroic moments. Sometimes it's just about that quiet, stubborn refusal to give up, especially when no one is watching. It's a story about talent for sure, but it's so much more a story about grit. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Which part of their journey really gets to you? Is it the years of quiet training, that single viral moment that changed everything, or their fight to finally own their own story?